Welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What do I do for you? I got a few minutes to kill. I got a good lesson for you. The title is The Cover Story. So let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to be in kind of a hurry. I'm trying to slow it down. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message of story for life. Excuse me. I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. We got a good thing going. You know how we do it. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers do just that. I'm giving you everything I got to make that possible. You tune in, you can use them, and you'll see they do just that. Get you to know thyself. That's my mission. It should be your goal as a right thinker. So let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. This book here, this is the cover to my book. This is the real version. Okay, this is the first one. This book I carry for about 10 years, and I called it my Bible. This book changed my life. So I'm going to break down a little. I want you to look at it to get a breakdown. I'm going to break that down for you. Everything is on it. Remember, the Egyptians, they taught in pictures, called pictogram, hieroglyphics, metadata, but they say a picture worth 1,000 words. So I'm going to try to break this down for you right quick, give you a lesson in what I do. And I'm starting from the first page 1. Okay, let's go. So this should be fun. All right, topic is called the cover story. It says, from the cover scene, you have Osiris is shown sitting on the throne of the shrine surmounted by the winged disc. The winged disc signifies the all-encompassing God. Okay, the winged sun disc represents Haru, or they call him Horus again, the hawk. The all-encompassing, all-pervading divinity. That sign represents God. Okay, Osiris, who in this teaching, this concept, assumes the role of the physical manifestation of God. Represents like Haru. That which is what? Up there. Okay, Haru means him up there. That's why he the falcon, or they call him the hawk. But he can go as high as any bird. So yeah, he's up there. The concept. They use the eagle or the falcon to show that. Now, in this aspect, you see Osiris is green. Osiris is green. Mummified, and that form represents, watch this, neither existence nor non-existence, neither life nor death, but that which lies beyond. The life force is green. Vegetation, chlorine, chlorophyll, everything green, which what vivifies all things. Okay, that's why the heart chakra is what? Green. The heart is red, blood is red, but the chakra is green for that reason. Okay, moving on. There you go. I try to give you some tidbits as we go. And it vivifies all things. That's life. In the realm of what? Osiris, there is only eternal life. Where he is, that's where you want to reside. That's the concept. Y'all call it heaven. Okay, we call residing with Osiris, going home to your father. Okay. Osiris holds what? He got a flare in one hand and a crook in the other. They both symbolic. Okay. One is for herding the flock. That's what they call all y'all believers sheep. Okay, and he did what? Sheep herding. Okay, so understand that's the concept of the Christian preachers. He got the shepherd's crook. Okay, excuse me. Okay, here what they represent. The crook was staff in his hand, symbolizing that what he holds the power of leading what one to absolute reality. The shepherd's crook. Okay, y'all consider the sheep. The power to what? Emanate life forth, which is the wasp. That's the head of. Okay, that's the hook crown. Okay. Then you got, which represents what? This represents the power to separate mortal human body from what? The eternal soul. Just as in the waning whip of the flare separates the staff from the seed. Okay, that's a 3-pound stab your weapon. You can separate stuff. That's what the concept they're using again. The weapon of choice defines the concept they're trying to get across. Okay, now from the feet, you'll see the lotus flower growing up out of his feet. Okay, that's what we're talking about now. And the world lotus. Lotus is a flower that in the morning, when sunrise, it rises, open up to God. But it's in the dirty, funkiest, stinkiest water. But it don't get messed up by nothing because it's pure. So they use that to signify purity to God. And when the sun go down, it closes up. Okay, so that's nature. Watch this. So now from the feet, the lotus symbolizes creation. What? Supporting the Egyptian female in a yoga pose with the arm raising out of her stomach, right? Out of her center navel. Symbolizing what? That the ark represents the union of opposites, which leads to what? Eternal life. Raises out of the body of what? Perfected by what? Yoga. I'm gonna get into yoga in a minute. We're about to break the yoga down for you too. It's another lesson, part of this lesson. Okay? So that's what we're doing. You see her? The back spin, okay? The sun disk emanating the rays. And whenever you see the sun ray, you're gonna see it rays. Can be several rays. Okay? Not a lesson, but that's what you're gonna see. That's what that represents. Now, you see it right there? Right there. The sun disk, that's you. The sun rays. Okay, that's the chakras, the 7 souls of Ra, but that's the concept. And it was also due to 7 visible planets. So 7 is a masterful number, mystical number, they call it. All right, where we at? Now from the feet, so then okay, representing unit opposites, and like okay, here now the sun disk, okay, the rays that symbolizes what? The eternal spirit. The 7, here we go. The 7 rays represent what? The 7 powers of creation, as well as what? The 7 energy centers, the chakras, y'all call it. We know that's serpent power, which are fully, which when fully awakened and transcended upon the attaining of what? Enlightenment. You got to raise the kundalini to the 7 chakras. That's what they tell you. I just do it with knowledge and understanding. And when you're living right, the chakras will open up on their own. Okay, but I can take you through one by one, and you take 1 year to master 1 chakra. So it could take 7 years. I remember becoming a Mason. They said it takes 7 years. No, everybody got that much time, but the original concept, you take 1 year for 1 degree. 1 year for each chakra. 7 years. Let's go. And that's part of the initiation. If you're going to be initiated to a code, you don't tell them what you want or how you want it. You come in and abide by the rules. This is what we're doing. Okay, that's what you do. When I go to church, I go to become a Christian. I don't go in there, right, thinking, well, I think no. I'm going to acquiesce at the corner. So that's what it's all about. But the 7 rays symbolizes that. Now, the inscription on the poles, on the pillars, okay? Now, they read in the column, the first one, it says, first one reads as follows. It says, man and woman live in bondage. That's ignorance, okay? Bondage means you're ignorant. You see that little rabbit? You got the man and the woman. Then you see a knot. That's life. That's the shin. That's for life. Then you see like a little bunny rabbit. That's bondage. Whenever you see a picture of that, I'm give you a little breakdown of hieroglyphics. I don't know them all, but some of them I do recognize. And this is one of them. Okay, this is where I got it from. He recognized bondage. And then you're going to see a heart. That represents duality. Watch this. But through love and devotion to what? Spirituality, aka higher self, you got the harmonious union of what? One's male and female aspects. You see that little thing here, linga? Okay, the Indians use that to signify the male and female union. Again, that's another hieroglyphic, but from the Indian concept. And you got the raising. You see this, the jade pillar that represents Osiris's backbone. Okay. Now you see where male and female union for one aspect, and raising one's life force. That's the Kundalini, climbing what? The pyramid of what? Immortality. This represents mortality. You see a whole bunch of us mortals. When you get to the top, because the work you got to put in, the arduous road you got to travel now, a lot of people don't make it, so it ain't that many people at the top. Understand it, and that's the reason why it's not easy. You climb the pyramid of immortality by what? Now, this is how you get to the top. That's my job, to show you how to get there. Why I've been there. So I come back down to take whoever I could up the top and get you there for yourself. So understand that. You get there through practice of right thinking philosophy, aka Egyptian yoga, Maya philosophy. Why? Which will do what? Which will balance, give you balance, order, wisdom to have good judgment, aka discernment, and what wisdom, one is transformed. I did last day by transformation. I got the picture of the scarab. Okay, he represents transformation. Then you got the Ankh, when one gains life. Okay, life force. The glare. That's on the other side over here to the left. Okay, now we're going through. Oh, that's at the bottom. You see the bottom row? We got some more signs down there. Okay. Can't go through them all. I wish I could put them up that blue screen, boy. I have my sister now. My sister-in-law, Shell. I can use you now because I can work from there, boy. When I get hooked up with my boy, we're going to be back in business. Watch this. But yeah, I can put on the screen. I can't do all that. I ain't that good. So when you transform, one gains what? Life eternal. Spiritual enlightenment means you recognize the spirit that's in you don't die. The physical body will. You're not concerned with that. Now you ain't scared to death. Not saying you can walk around and jump in front of the car because I ain't, my spirit can't die. That's nonsense. But the idea of dying don't scare you. Some people do. Why? They think this is it. This is the end. Yeah, they cling and they hold on, not knowing that. Going to that good night with understanding, being conscious of who you are, knowing you're going to the next level. They call it the afterlife for a reason. Moving on. That's the eternal. And this is the most. This attainment for spiritual enlightenment, nihas, everybody wants to get it, and whatever religion you profess, they all want to reach this point. Why? Because this is the most beautiful attainment you can have. That's the eye. I love seeing my eye. I ain't got it on. But that means the transcendental vision of what? Eternity. You see spiritually. Your third eye is open. You see what's really going on. And then you reach supreme peace, aka Hotep. I spell it H-E-T-E-P. A lot of people spell it H-O-T-E-P. Don't make a difference. But it represents supreme peace. And birth into what? You ready for this? Godhood. Born again, new birth, all that. Yeah, the concept is you go into your spiritual realm now. We're in the physical realm with the I and the ego. That's all physical. Haru, raise your conscious level and become spiritually enlightened. That's my job, to get my right thinkers to do just that. And you're walking on a whole different level now. I can't speak for those who ain't. That's on them. But every individual right thinker, you know yourself, so you raise your little level higher than the normal. Watch this. When you reach Godhood, what that means? One's original true nature. That's the purpose of religion, to link you back to your true nature. But if it's corrupted and misunderstood, it's going to lead you to Palookasville, lost in the desert like Moses, wandering around for 40 years and don't find yourself. Because you're looking for yourself in all the wrong places. Go inside. This is the ultimate union of all right thinkers. Opposites within oneself represents what? The state of yoga. This is the sign, but this is the yoga sign. Okay, that's called a nephra. That's when the trachea combines with the lungs for breathing. That's two things working together as one. They show you that. They do it with the trachea. They do it with the lungs. They break them all down for you. Where my stuff at right here? Okay, now let me get into a quick breakdown for you with what yoga is. I got 1 page of information. Hope I can get it in. Yeah, it should be enough time. But I don't want to do it, but I want to make sure the lesson get done. So, well, I hear about yoga. We hear about yoga. Yeah, let me tell you about what yoga is from my teacher. All right. The literal meaning of the word yoga is to yoke or to link back. Again, just like religion, bring you back to what? Your original state. And the implication is to what? Link back to your original source. Again, the original essence, which is the spirit that's in us, that which transcends all mental and intellectual attempts to what? Comprehension. But which is the, essential nature of everything in creation, aka God. The science of yoga, here we go, is constitutes the teachings, listen, required for what? To achieve perfection. Well, we can't be perfected. Perfected means perfection, which is what? The original essence of who every human being is in spirit. We have the opportunity to do just that in the physical form if we practice our yoga philosophy, implement them, and we will reach perfection. It's again less about perfection in action. Okay, so calm down. Get a grip. I'm getting excited. Okay, but when you hear perfection, nobody perfect. Blah, 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 blah. Jesus was the archetype of spiritual beings, are perfect beings, living right, and doing what they need to do. That's perfect. When you being obedient to God, you're perfect. When you go against God, you become the devil. And that's you in the flesh. So devil ain't somebody, no, you make the devil yourself when you go against the opposition to God. That's the definition of a devil, so please understand that. Moving on. The path of nature, we call it spiritual. It's learning through what? Mistakes, trial and error. Yeah, sometimes that's good, but, and what happens with that? You go through suffering, and it's a process, again, between trial and error, you end up suffering. And it is what? An arduous, and it requires what? Many reincarnations to get right. Meaning you're going to reincarnate over and over again until you figure it out, until you get it right. That's the concept of knowing thyself. You stop the reincarnating cycle and go back to where you come. So calm down. Now, through self-discipline, aka spiritual discipline, we are spiritual beings. When you conduct yourself discipline to your higher self, that's self-discipline, or you can call it spiritual discipline. We call it she-talk. That's another definition we gave it to you before. Right to this lesson, we're going to use the vernacular of self-discipline. And the path of yoga offers what? It offers you a shortcut to the ending of the pains of human existence and to exalt the pleasure, aka bliss of existence. By how? How could you make this happen? By achieving self-mastery, aka know thyself. That's the goal of all right thinkers. And this is what we're going to do. And you realize self-realization. You come to grips with reality, and you understand the realization of one's true nature is God. We was back when I was doing my studies, we call each other gods. We understood that. People thought we were crazy. I call each other God. If you don't know your God, you don't know yourself. Moving on. So watch this. Now the process is to become Haru, or what the Christians call Christ-like. Literally, what it means? It means that you have been anointed. Anointed? By who with what? An enlightened being. Hakus, okay? That means the enlightened one, physically, while still alive. You can't do nothing dead. Everything that you do, you have to be in the physical form. So you have to perform it before death, because at death, you're going to be judged for your actions in life. So nothing happens after death. Understand that. Watch this. But your goal is to become Christ-like, and it means to be what? The enlightened one. When I was walking around talking about I'm enlightened, I'm spiritually conscious, this nigga crazy. Yeah, but now, 5-6 years down the road, I'm still enlightened. But other people starting to pick it up and become enlightened too, aka right thinkers. I got 1,500 of y'all. I'm proud of that. I appreciate you. But let's go. This is what I do for you. What I'm at. Now, the idea to make spiritual enlightenment while what? Still alive. Now, in essence, okay, to attain this level of being, how do I get it? We must first, hear me, control what? The forces of our own lower nature, aka ego or set. This is the first thing you have to do if you're going to raise your consciousness. If you're going to know yourself, you need to know the ego self and how to put him in check. In essence, what? We must learn how to give up, here we go, our egotistical ideas and allow them to dissolve. When you are egotistical, you have an opinion about everything. You got, if they say left, you're going to say right. They say up, you're going to say down. You're just an opinionated person. Let that go. Stop being subjective, meaning you're going to subject everything to your likings. And be objective, meaning you're going to understand somebody else's scenario or situation. That's all you have to do. You got to be so, like, that's annoying to everybody. In essence, we must learn how to give up the egoistical ideas and do what? Allow them to dissolve so that what? We may now truly discover what? Our deepest true self. Who is what? Nameless, bodiless, immortal, and eternal. Well, who could that be? Those are titles, the aspects of we call God. Sorry. When I say shortcut, I mean I'm cutting something out. No, it's just going to get you to where you want to go quicker by using that means, not the other nonsense. Shortcut here should not be taken to what? Mean easy. For indeed, what we are asking is that we be trained. That's my job, to train you to meet your challenges in life. David, perfect example. Everybody's scared of Goliath. David didn't think twice about it. When you're comfortable in your station in life, you have no fear. Okay, understand that. And that was the perfect example. I used that to get my point across when it comes to being scared of opposing foe. Look how big he is. Look how much he is. Look how many he is. We just did the number with Gideon with the 300. I said, sound like the Spartans to me. But my point to that is, God tell you, I don't need a whole bunch. A few good men to do. I agree, 100%. Why? Because it ain't a whole lot of good men. You only gonna get a few. If they'd have had 1 or 2 in Sodom and Gomorrah, it wouldn't have destroyed it. From my understanding, he couldn't find no good men in the town, so it wasn't worth saving. Another little quick lesson, but moving on. Now, when you're training, what does training mean? Training, studying implies the correct knowledge to gather in order to what? Perform the right action. Wrong info in, wrong info out. Okay, negative reaping, putting in, negative return. So understand that when you have right action, you can what? Now you develop, you ready for this? Right thinking. Bam! I had to stop to make notation of that. Right thinking is a part of life. It's a survival mechanism. It's anything you can use it to benefit yourself for. Thinking is a necessity to survive it. Right thinking is the next level up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We all think. Yeah. But right thinking means you're going to focus on the right things. You're going to think about the right things. And you're going to implement the right things. That's all. But, there's a but. But we need to put forth what? Here you go. My favorite. The effort. And to self-discipline. Why? To reach this goal. That's what it takes. Due diligence. Perseverance. Consistency. If you're not putting forth the effort, you're not going to get the desired results. You can't want muscles and don't work out. You can't want knowledge and don't study. You can't want to know yourself and not study and perfect and train and practice to do so. It don't just happen. As yoga, here you go, is what? Is the highest goal of our human existence. Why? Because it's getting you in touch with your highest self. That's what it's supposed to do. And the highest goal, what? Requires the highest dedication, the most desire, and will. Yoga training, right thing philosophy, allows for what? The development of these qualities within you so that you may reach the coveted goal of what? Becoming a sage, saint, or Haru, or Christ. All the same people. Krishna, Buddha, all the same people. You can call it what you want when you obtain it. How about that? So, moving on. Oh, God, let me wrap this up. I got another half a page to go. I'm wrap this up for you real quick. And understand this. There are many forms of yoga. I did that many yoga time with 5 of main characters. But in this writer, right quick, emphasizes we will be placed on what? The yoga of my favorite. Right thinking philosophy is based on yoga of wisdom and yoga of action. Why? Because they're known in India as, from the Vedanta philosophy as Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. Simple. Same thing, different names. Watch this, respectively. But however, like that word, however, all paths of yoga are integral and to some degree using elements of each other is needed. Specifically, when you understand all of them, you can use them intrinsically. Not saying, well, I don't know that one, that ain't my thing. I don't know Tantra Yoga. I don't practice it. I know it. Okay, so you can study it to learn it. It's better to have it and don't need it than to need it and don't have it. And when it comes to knowledge of self, it was always better to have knowledge of self than need it and don't have it, because we all need it. Sorry, I'm trying to maintain. But let me wrap this up and get this out the way. I'm feeling hope you get this lesson. But however, all the paths are integral in the same degree, using the elements of each other as needed. That's the question. If you got the knowledge of it, then you can use it. And watch this. Thus leading to what? The same destination. I got a lesson coming for you now. Your spiritual destination. The only way you can reach it is obtaining self-knowledge. Right here, I got the lesson already done. But watch this. Now, from an advanced standpoint, right, thinkers, we deal from an advanced situation. Why? Our knowledge is esoteric, meaning we getting the hidden messages. We getting the real deal, okay? Any activity which allows us to what? Move into harmony with our true selves is a yoga philosophy. How about that? So right thinking is right on time. It's a yoga philosophy. Moving on. Let's go. Now the symbols. I'm doing next lesson. I'm going to do that on symbols. The symbols and the philosophy. I've got that coming for you too. That will be presented and should be reflected upon which what? With respect to the symbolic nature of the universal principles presented as they apply to one's life. Spiritual a la carte. You take out what you like, what you choose, practice that, and move on. The 5 steps of yoga, you don't have to practice all of them. Take one that suits you and work that. My man, TD Jakes. You find what works for you and you work it. You get what you like, what gets you excited, what craves you, makes you want to, then you work it. That's all. If you're not angry, we call it, as a Mason, we call it craving. Craving what? Knowledge. So you ask questions. When you are in that mode of wanting to, you ask questions. Simple as that. Okay. And understand this. No philosophical or religious system, watch this, can be expected to exactly correlate with any other given system. This is why you have every religious system different in some way or another. That's why. Watch this. Because what? Because of the nature of individual cultures. We do difference. The Indians, Native Americans, the Aborigines, the Egyptians, they all have different viewpoints about the same thing. Okay? Come on now. And you got individual expressions of the ideas, and you got individual experiences. God will be different for me than it will for you, but it's still God. Understand that. So it ain't no one. You got 9 billion people on this earth. You got 9 billion ways to get to God. Why? Because every human being has that right and that ability to commune with their Father through meditation, good deeds, and righteous living. It ain't hard to do. It's been going that way since we've been here. Get back to that thing. Wrap this up. Oh God, I don't know. Way too long. Sorry, but therefore, accepting. Watch this. Accepting any myth or story is wholly factual would be immature. A disciple must seek to answer the questions of the innermost heart However, not always expecting answers in an intellectual form, but at the level of deep introspection and study of what? Philosophical systems, one will discover what? That there is a common basis to them all. My disciples just said the same things that asked my master. I learned that they all got, yes, you now, grasshopper, now you're hopping. Watch this. Faith, what everybody having in the belief system starts with faith. And what happens? It turns into intuition, and through study, by listening, reflecting, and meditating, you will become conscious or spiritually enlightened to know thyself. Last one. Yoga is a proven science. Yoga is a proven science by which what? Humankind can find its roots where? But more importantly, yoga philosophy and other ancient mystical philosophies are concerned with what? The here and the now and the raising of what? One's consciousness in the very present. Meaning before you exit this world, you need to achieve these things for yourself to stop the reincarnation cycle. If not, you're going to the assembly line. Last one. The science of yoga teaches us how to what? Promote right thinking so that we may what? Understand who we are, why we are here, and how to obtain the highest level of life here. Bliss, supreme peace, happiness. That's what you reach when you connect with your higher self, aka God. That's the lesson. Sorry it took so long, but I got more, so you know I'll be back. And in closing, right thinkers, may you live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'm out.